Hello Leafs Nation, I'm Rick Scarborough and you're watching Blue and White Weekly, where we bring you weekly updates on the Leafs and the hockey world at large. If my parlay doesn't hit tonight, I might lose my house, but that's not what's important. What's important is we have a brand new week of Maple Leafs hockey to talk about, so let's get into the news. To begin, let's take a look at some news from around the hockey world. Congratulations to Canada's women's U18 team for taking home gold in Vanta, Finland last weekend in a shutout victory over the United States. The Detroit Red Wings and Columbus Blue Jackets have revealed their uniforms for this year's Stadium Series game. The Blue Jackets feature their iconic cannon on the front of the uniform, while the Red Wings continue to do everything they can to avoid changing their logo. The Red Wings helmets have an almost football-style vibe to them, with a stripe down the front and the wings of their crest enlarged along the sides. The most interesting detail on either jersey, however, is a purple tag on the back of Detroit's jersey paying homage to their mascot, Al the Octopus. You may have seen over the last few weeks a series of commercials starring Leafs captain Auston Matthews and Oilers captain Connor McDavid competing in challenges with each other for the prize of a McDonald's Big Mac. This is all to promote a new showdown menu from McDonald's, which includes hockey-themed items such as the Selly Sundae, Powerplay Poutine, and the featured burgers, the Big Mac David, and the Smoky Quarter Pappy. For more thoughts on this collab, we turn it over to our junior intern, Gilsey. What's going on, dudes and dudettes? It's your boy Gilsey, and I am back on Blue and White Weekly, where I'm going to be trying the Auston Matthews burger. So we got here from McDonald's. They call it the Smoky Quarter Pappy, and it's a burger, I guess, based on Auston Matthews. We got McDonald's logo up front there with the hockey sticks. We got a 34 on the box, just like our boy 34. And we open it up. It looks like a burger. That looks like a McDonald's burger, but oh yeah, I can taste Pappy. That tastes like Auston Matthews. I'm going to be honest, that's just a hamburger. Back to you, Rick. I'm going to be entirely honest with you, Gilsey. That did not look appetizing. Sportsnet's Elliot Friedman reported Saturday that the Canucks were planning on leaving JT Miller out of the lineup against the Oilers Saturday evening, as Vancouver was closing in on a deal to send the forward to the New York Rangers. However, talks fell through before game time, and Miller hit the ice for the Canucks all the same. And now for the games of the week. The Leafs looked to avoid a 3-game losing streak on Tuesday as the Dallas Stars came to town. But based on the past tense of that statement and the disappointment in my voice, I think you already know how this one went. The Leafs were off to a great start, running the Stars' show in terms of both offense and physical play, and that led to a quick Auston Matthews goal within the first 5 minutes of play, no doubt fueled by all the McDonald's he had before the game. However, that seemed to be all the Leafs had in the tank, as it was the Stars in the driver's seat from there, scoring 4 unanswered goals and allowing the Leafs no dangerous chances despite Toronto leading the game in shots for majority of play. Leafs lose 4-1. This marks the first time in a long time that the Leafs have lost 3 games in a row, and as for the why, we have to turn to the expert. Some say he did the coin toss at the very first Grey Cup game, and that he once let out a fart so violent it melted the ice at the Sudbury Community Center. All we know is he's our senior analyst, Byron Doyle. Right then, folks, howdy there. Byron Doyle here, Blues Clues Weekly, and the Bud's been on a bit of a cold streak there, and I think I know why. Now, you can call me a conspiracy theorist. I've been called worse by better, but the Mentors trip happened just recently for our Toronto Maple Leafs, and saw a whole lot of nice faces on there. I know they invited out Clarky and Dougie, and great to see them motoring, but each player got to pick a mentor, someone important to them, to come on the trip, hang with the team, see the day-to-day life, and I think that's beautiful. I'm a little disappointed I wasn't picked, but I won't hold it against you boys. And our captain, Auston Matthews, who did he pick? He picked, an old teammate of his, Jumbo Joe Thornton. Leafs legend, Sharks legend. Jumbo's been all over the map. He's done it all, won it all. Well, not won it all. He hasn't won a cup. And that's where I'm going with this. If you remember, there was a documentary during the bubble season, the Canadian division, the North Division they were calling it. And Jumbo was a Leaf. He was on the team. And there's a moment in that documentary, what she called All or Nothing or something like that. It's on Amazon Plus or Disney Prime or any of those things. I don't keep up. I don't even have cable anymore. But they had this moment where they're talking about what they can do to be better as a team. What can the Leafs do to improve themselves? And Jumbo's sitting in that meeting and he goes, well, we're first in the division. We don't need to improve. We don't need to get better. We're doing all right. That's not a good mentality. That is not a winner's mentality. I love you, Jumbo, but thinking like that, that's how you don't win a cup. Now, Jumbo comes on this trip when the boys are flying, and then as soon as he's been hanging around with the team, they start to not do so well. Maybe a little bit of that thinking was rubbing off on the boys. Maybe a little bit of the, you're in first in the Atlantic, you're doing all right. Maybe that started to rub off on Auston and Mitchie and Willie, but I could be crazy, could be a conspiracy, like I said, but well, you got to stop and think, don't you? Don't you, Ricky? Is it bad that I could actually follow him that time? Byron just made sense, and that worries me. And the bad news just keeps coming for the Leafs, as it was announced on Thursday that John Tavares had been placed on IR after taking an awkward fall in practice. Despite all that his amulet does, I suppose even it can't cure clumsiness. With Tavares on injured reserve, the Leafs have called Fraser Minten from the Toronto Marlies, although head coach Craig Berube stated that Minten would not play in Thursday's game. Speaking of, the Leafs look to snap the losing streak at home against the New Jersey Devils. This was the homecoming game for Sheldon Keefe, as the Devils have not visited Toronto since the coaching change took place. The teams traded looks all night, but if you've been complaining about the lack of production from the core, this was the game for you, with Willie Nylander and Auston Matthews each double-dipping and Mitch Marner picking up 2 assists. The goals were back and forth all night, with the Devils scoring, then the Leafs scoring, then the Devils scoring, and so on and so forth, until we reached overtime, tied at 3. It's there that William Nylander potted his second of the game on a brilliant breakaway, and the Leafs win 4-3 to snap the losing streak. And with his assists in this game, Mitch Marner became the fastest player in Leafs franchise history to reach 700 career points. And for all of you that have been saying we should not pay him this offseason, I want to hear what you have to say now. The Leafs look to carry the momentum from Thursday into Saturday for Hockey Day in Canada, a day-long broadcast featuring all 7 Canadian teams in action, as well as a host of other programming coming to us live from Canmore, Alberta. I was hoping to see an appearance from my old buddy Mike, but no luck. The Leafs clearly forgot what time the game started, as the Habs ran the show out of the gate, going up 3-0 at first intermission. A pair of goals from Bobby McMahon and Nick Robertson brought the Leafs back into it in the second, with McMahon's goal in particular standing out for the fact that he scored it with Matthew Knies' stick. And I don't know what Craig Berube had to say at second intermission, but the Leafs dominated the third period, starting with a beautiful breakaway from William Nylander, and continuing from there as they put up 4 more goals in the third, including Auston Matthews' first career shorthanded goal. This win could not have happened, however, without Joseph Woll standing on his head, and the Leafs escape Montreal with the massive 7-3 win. Looking ahead in the week, the Leafs hope to stay undefeated on prime Monday Night Hockey as the Tampa Bay Lightning come to town. Then the Columbus Blue Jackets visit on Wednesday, before the Leafs head to Ottawa on Saturday to continue the Battle of Ontario with the Senators. We'll have all those games for you next week, plus so much more, but for now, thank you very much for watching, Leafs Nation. Be sure to like and subscribe, and remember, go Leafs, go. We'll see you next week.